Shalom, shalom, Kwame Ashala. Just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Chodash. That belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well. And after telling me this truth to you, I say shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect. So, I don't know, like, I kind of want to title this video slash lesson along the lines of Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And I think that title is fitting for what I'm going to go into. What you see here is a video from this guy's channel, Patrick CC, and it says the brutal collapse of Akon's scam city. Now, if you're not familiar with Akon's smart city that he made, which is called Akon City, well, he didn't really make it, but he was trying to. It was supposed to be built in Senegal, right? So, 7 years later, he didn't build it. So they're saying that he's a scam artist because it looks like he pocketed the money that the Chinese government gave him, and it's like he left the Senegalese people to pick up the tab, because now the Senegalese government has to pay for it, right? Because a contract was signed, and till this day nothing's been built. So he was going to build a city called Akon City. He was going to have his own cryptocurrency, the Acoin. He had all the blueprints, he had all the plans, and nothing was done. Now, I don't know. Maybe he is a scam artist, or maybe it just didn't work out, because that's a part of the curses, right? Doesn't matter how rich you are as an Israelite. The curses are going to follow you wherever you go. It doesn't matter how rich you are, and especially in this kingdom, in this world. This is not our world, and it's not our rest. So what does that mean? There's always going to be a glass ceiling for you Israelites. On whatever level you're on, you can only go so far, right? And another thing too, he actually had to borrow the money from the Chinese government. So he had to go to another nation to get the money to build up his own city. And obviously you have to pay that money back, right? So really you're a tributary, right? You're a tributary. But he did try to do something positive. Also, I don't want to discredit the other things that he has done. He has actually done certain things for Africa, different African countries, like he brought electricity to certain African towns and villages, and it has helped benefit the African people, help them to live a little bit more of a prosperous life. You got to give him that credit, right? You got to give him that. It was positive, but man, we have no continuing city here. And you can't escape the curses, and you can't be better than these other nations, man. not in this life, not in this life. In the next life, or the next kingdom that's about to come up, which is Yahushai's kingdom that he's about to usher in, and then we'll do all these things, and it's going to be far greater. Now, another thing I didn't like about the Akon city, it's modeled after how Esau is doing things and how China is doing things, because it's a so-called smart city. So that means it's going into digital currency, a cashless system. Obviously, it's going to be biometric, right? Obviously, maybe down the road, the MOTB is going to come into play, right? So he's doing everything like the so-called white man and like the other nations. So if Jake is going to get involved into something like that, they're not going to prosper, right? Because let's just say, man, if he built this city and it's successful, it's booming, and you have all these Jakes going into there, the Lord is not with that at the end of the day. They're still going to be cursed, and guess what? That city will go in ruins, will become destroyed or fall to ruin, Van. Right? That's just how it is with us. And it's not that he's not a smart man. It's not that he's not a good businessman. It's just the curses. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th verse on down. All those curses. And you can't escape it. Doesn't matter what level you're on, whether you're rich or poor, there's always a glass ceiling for whatever level you're on. And you got different curses that are going to come upon you. So I just want to say that. Now let me get a precept. Let's get Hebrews chapter 13 and 14, right? Let's get that. Let's pull that up. Hebrews chapter 13 and 14. Now, what does it say here? It says, actually, I'll start at verse 12. Wherefore, Yahushua also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. That's right. That's right. He made us clean through his blood. Right, and that's why we're able to get grace, through his blood. That reconciled the relationship between us and the Heavenly Father, and that's why we're able to get grace. That's why we're able to obtain faith. That's why we're able to obtain the knowledge and wisdom that comes out of this book. Hey, man, that's why we're going to get the kingdom, pretty much. Verse 13, let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp bearing his reproach. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. That's right. We have no continuing city in this place. Babylon the Great. This ain't our home. Matter of fact, we're exiled. We've been exiled into this place. Lord, he kicked us out of our homeland. He put us here as a punishment. Right? So obviously we have no continuing city. This is not our home. This is not our rest. It doesn't matter what you build over here. It's not our home. And really, the Lord is not with it because, first of all, this place is polluted and it's defiled. And it's in another man's kingdom. Whether you go to Africa, whether you go to Asia, whether you go to North America, it's all the same shit. We have no continuing city here. Now, I just want to go into this verbatim, into the so-called context, verbatim. Pretty much, man, when it says, for here we have no continuing city, simply put, man, sin, sinners, death will not suffer us to continue long here, ultimately. And that's why we don't have a continuing city, because if this Akon city were to be built up, it would be full of wickedness, man, because the laws, statutes, and commandments and the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will not be the foundation. Okay? The principles of that city won't fall upon the law, statutes, and commandments, the things that come out of the Holy Bible. It's going to be based upon wickedness, man. The things of this world. So, that isn't our home. Akon City isn't the answer, right? So that's why, as Israelites, we should go forth by faith and seek Yahushai for that rest and settlement that this world cannot offer us, right? So that's what we should be investing in. We should be investing into the kingdom of heaven. Kind of reminds me of Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Matter of fact, I'll pull that up and then I'll get Leviticus 18, going into the law on how if you don't practice the law, we'll be spewed out of the land. We'll be vomited out of the land because of our wickedness. And that's what's going to happen if you build up Akon City. We're just going to be spewed out. Right? Or it's just going to be destroyed. Pretty much, man. And it can't change, man. It can't change. The Lord is no respecter of persons. And the Lord, he does not reward bad behavior. I love saying that. The Lord cannot reward bad behavior. And you Israelites, you think that. You really think the Lord is going to reward you for your wickedness. He will never do that. He will never do that. All right, so let's get Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. So it says here, this is the words of Yahushai, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. That's right. So you can't invest in this place, especially in carnal riches, in carnal things that are temporal, because they're gonna, eventually they're gonna rust and they're going to waste away. And also people can steal your stuff, your substance and your resources. You can't invest in the carnal things, man. They're not for sure. They're not written in stone like the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Remember, what we have is eternal. The name of the Lord, his son, the law, statutes, and commandments, the things that are written in this book, it's all eternal. It will last forever. But the things of this world, it won't last forever. Verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So that's talking about your spiritual bank account, your spiritual investments, what you have saved up and what you have worked for in the spirit. Like demonstrating your, way to work and to really, you know what's a good way to invest in your spiritual bank account and to save your spiritual money? By pursuing this work, by worshiping Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, following the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? So that's why it says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, because, there's a reward for doing this work. There's a reward for serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're going to inherit all things under Hamashiach Yahushai as a joint heir, right? As an Israelite. Yasha Allah, he is the prince of the power. So let me read this again. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's right. So you got to invest in the kingdom of heaven. You got to really invest in the Lord. You can't invest in Acon City. And for those individuals that invested in this city, man, it was a bust. You lost a lot of money. And he, especially him, man, that's embarrassing for Acon, right? It's embarrassing. That's very embarrassing. And now he looks like a scam artist. Maybe he did. Maybe he intentionally did this. I don't know. Or maybe he just couldn't do it because the curses are on him. But either way, man, it doesn't look good. So we don't have a continuing city in this place. And what you should be investing in is the kingdom of heaven. I think, actually, no, let me get 1 John 2 and 15. Let me go back to Leviticus 18. This is 1 John, 2 and 15? Yeah, that's what I want. 2 and 15. It says here, do not love the world. Okay? So it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. See? The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, his word, and the things that come written in the book, obviously, it's eternal. It's forever. And ultimately, that's going to play out in the kingdom, and that's going to play out through his people while they dwell in the kingdom. You're going to see it play out. You're going to see the scriptures, eternal glory play out through its people, on how they live and how they act. That's going to happen in the next kingdom, Yahushai's kingdom. But man, this world that we're living in, it's temporal, and it's going to pass away. Acon City is going to pass away. Bitcoin, a cashless society, digital currency, that's all going to pass away. It's all going to fizzle out. It's all going to corrode, right? It's not for us, right? It's not for us. It's not for us. And it's just lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And really, man, that was his own kingdom. He was just trying to make his own kingdom, his own paradise, right? And that's just really to glorify him. That's what it's called, Acon City, right? That's really just to glorify him and to make him look good. And, 7 years ago, when he was talking about the project, you can tell that he was very proud. He was proud, right? He was proud. And, a rich man cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's very rare for that. So you're seeing that play out also by the way Achan is doing things. That's a good example here. Let me get John 15, verse 19. Let's get John 15 and 19. Now, I'll start at 18. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. That's right. The world hates Yahushai. They hate the Lord. Everybody hates the Lord. Everybody wants to praise him. Everybody is scared of him. You know, when they're about to die or when something serious happens, they all want to call upon his name. But at the end of the day, man, people don't want to respect the Lord. Everybody hates Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, you have all, think about it, man. You have all these people living on the planet Earth, these different, including the nations and including you Israelites, obviously. You guys are all caught up into worshiping all these different gods and idols, but you're not worshiping the true power. That shows that the Lord is not liked. It shows that he's hated. It shows that he's hated, man. In fact, man, the Lord, he was crucified a second time. How does that happen? Right? He was crucified in the ancient world, but now he's crucified a second time. His name is slandered. All his icons are changed. Right? People can't even handle his real image on how he looks as a so-called black man. Right? So, yeah, man, the world hates Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And guess what? If you serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and you worship him and you love him, you're going to be hated too. You're going to be hated too. Verse 19, it says, if you were of the world would love his own, but because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. And I want to just bring this out, man, because the Lord, when he was on the scene, he didn't build his own city up. He didn't have a home. In fact, he came riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. Right? When he was the King of Kings, he should have been on a high horse or like a stallion of some sort and decked out, right? But he wasn't living that way, and that was to teach you how to live in humility. He really showed us how it was done, how to really live a real righteous life in humility. But guess what? When the Lord was on the scene, he wasn't building up Yahushai's city, especially in another man's kingdom, right? So, yes, he was persecuted. Yes, he was oppressed. So all those things are going to happen to you. So I just want to say this. Are you really supposed to be building up a city for yourself? A smart city and building up your own digital currency? Was Yahushai doing that? No. No, and that's why I started off with Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. You know, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Right? And we're seeking it through Yahushai. So when Yahushai was on the scene here, he knew he didn't have a continuing city under the Roman Empire. You know what he was thinking about? He was thinking about getting the elect right, making sure that the disciples and the word was pushed out, also him dying for his people. And then guess what? After that, that's when he's going to come back and build up his city. But before he does that, he has to take everybody down, all these heathen nations down. Right? So what spirit do we have to be in? We have to be in the same spirit as Yahushai. All right, man. So let me go back to Leviticus 18. All right, Leviticus 18. I think it's around the 24th verse, probably. Leviticus 18 and 24 here. See, I think it's 24. Wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Leviticus 18 and 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. That stranger going into like foreigners or Israelite foreigners. Right? So basically, the reason why I wanted to bring this out is the land itself will vomit you out. The land itself will vomit out the inhabitants that are living in the land if you're not doing the right thing, if you're not serving the Lord, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, if you're not doing that. So that's why I made the point earlier, you know, even if this city was built up, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the law, statutes, commandments, aren't going to be that city's foundation. They're going to be doing their own thing. They're going to bring in their own laws. And they're going to be wicked as hell. And as a result of you living that way, you being wicked, you're going to be spewed out that land. So this city is going to fall to shit, for lack of better words. That's how I want to say it. It's going to fall to shit. Right? So, yeah, man, if the Lord is not involved with your project, it isn't going to do well. It isn't going to prosper. So I thought I'd just bring that out. Let me get Micah 2 and 10. Might as well pull that out. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. And it says here, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Yeah, so it says, arise ye, so get the hell up and to depart. You know how you rise up and you depart? You got to make a mass exodus out of this place spiritually. And yes, you know what? There is going to be another mass exodus physically, but it's going to come by the way of ships. That's pursuing to Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. Come out of her, my people, right? But, you know, how do you get up and how do you depart this place? You do that spiritually. And you got to show it through your works by practicing the laws, statutes, and commandments and calling upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So it says here, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. That's right. So this is not our rest. And that goes along with Hebrews 13 and 14 about how we don't have a continuing city over here. This is not our rest. We're not going to be living good here, especially in America. Well, even in Africa, man, too. We're not going to be living good there. It's not your rest. You got to get up and work. You got to pay taxes. You got to be a tributary. You got to deal with these cops, these wicked other nations too, coming into your land, because you have to let them in. Because there is an international community, and you have to be nice to your neighbors, right? So, even if Akon City, you know, if he built that city up, it's going to be a tourist attraction. You're going to have all these other nations want to come in there and live there too, right? But anyways, man, it says because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. That's right, because it is polluted. This place is polluted. It's defiled. People doing witchcraft in this place, doing sorcery, incantations, enchantments, spells. And then it's also physically polluted by pollution itself. All these cars, motorized vehicles up and down the street, these airplanes in the sky, chemtrails. You know, you're showering in poop water. Because that's what it is. You're showering in poop water, brushing your teeth with poop water. This place is defiled on so many levels, right? It's defiled and it's polluted. Food is polluted too. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. That's right. It's gonna destroy you. It's gonna destroy you. So, hey man, you can't escape the curses. And it doesn't matter where you build a city in this place. The Lord is not with it. All right, he's not with it. All right, man. So anyways, that's it. So with that, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS to USA Shalom, and Shalom to the Hopeful Life. Kwame Shalom and Abad Babal.